Todd, here we are in the Devil's Locker Room. What are we here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about season tickets, and I wanted to talk to the fans directly before we come out with the prices and before there's any misunderstandings. I wanted to kind of explain the thinking behind our season ticket pricing for next season and give the organization's take on why we got to where we got and why we increased the prices and what that means for match day prices and what that means for season ticket holders, and basically outline all the information so they hear it from us before they look online and see a price increase and have a meltdown. I just thought it'd be easier if we explain things.
Why have you taken the decision to change these prices?
So basically, prices are going to go up most years, right? I'm sure every team right now is sitting there thinking, what are our season ticket prices going to be? What are our match day prices going to be? But we spent a ton of time benchmarking ourselves against what the other teams in the league do. We looked at every single team's top tiered ticket, and we were the sixth most expensive ticket in the league. So that's including the match day price, any booking fees, any facility fees, and we took all that, we grouped them together, we put them together in a chart, and we were the sixth most expensive. For us, we play out of a smaller arena. Our capacity is 3,110 people, and we're competing against arenas and teams that have the ability to sell. Some teams can sell 1,000 more tickets than us. Some teams can sell 6,000 more tickets than us. And so, for us, we have to look at all those things: the cost of players, the salary increases for players, the cost of running a team, the cost of running a building. All of that kind of has to factor into when you make a price increase like this.
Break down a little bit the increase in terms of the cost and what kind of elements come into that and why.
Okay, so I think first of all, maybe we can outline what's still included, and the way I would do that is so essentially a season ticket holder for us, a season ticket for us next season. Same as always, the season ticket price is based off of the match day ticket price for next season. So first of all, we had to look at what are we going to charge for match day ticket prices. We have an insane demand for tickets right now. And part of it is because the people of Cardiff love the Devils because there's a demand for tickets, but also it's because there's 3,110 seats. This year we said we'd cap our season ticket holders at 1,600. We got a little bit above that because we had a few stragglers that had been season ticket holders for a long time, and we kind of let those kind of filter in over the last couple of weeks. And so we're over 1,600, but we want to cap it right, like have a hard cap of 1,600 next season. And anytime you have season tickets, when you go year to year, a normal year, you have between 5 and 10% fall off in terms of people's circumstances change. Some people move away, some kids go to university, some people just decide it's no longer for them. Maybe they've had kids of their own and they're staying home more. Whatever the reason, there's always 5 to 10% of season ticket holders that drop off. But with that, there's usually 5 to 10% to replace them. This year, in previous years, we would sell season tickets. Like I always said, sell season tickets until people don't want to buy season tickets, because you want to increase your season tickets because that's kind of the lifeblood of the organization. This is the first year, we're probably one of the only teams that's ever thought to cap their season tickets in this league, because we didn't want to have 900 tickets going on every game. We wanted to kind of think that, okay, we need like 1,300 tickets that go on sale every time, because when we say we cap it at 1,600, we also have 200 corporate season ticket holders. So every game there's roughly 1,300 tickets that can go on sale. But I'll give you an example, like the Pride game, for example, on February 1st. It goes on sale January 1st at 9 a.m. It's sold out in 90 minutes, less than 90 minutes. And I don't mean sold out with 50 or 60 single seats left. I mean sold out, every seat gone. And what we're getting is a lot of complaints from people that can't get tickets. And we don't have like a secret stash of tickets that we hold back to release at the last minute. We sell every seat. And it is frustrating. If you're a casual fan, like if I'm a casual fan of Cardiff City, I can probably buy a ticket on the day of a game. Even for the big games, there's usually tickets around. Same with rugby, and it's because they have a bigger capacity. For us, down to the capacity that we have, we want every seat used. That's why we do things like the buyback. We started doing the buyback program a few years ago, where season ticket holders can buy back we can buy back their seat for half the price of it, or whatever it is, £10. We still are going to offer that. I think this year, when you add up all the games we've done that for, by the end of the season, it might be 20 games that we did that for. So if you're missing up to 20 games, you're going to get £200 back in merchandise or ticket vouchers. We still are going to offer the 3 free webcasts that we did this year. Whereas, like, if you can't attend a game, we can offer you a webcast to watch, and we'll take your tickets back and sell out. So on any game, there's usually, there might be 100 to 200 season ticket holders that maybe can't attend, and we want those tickets used. We don't want them sitting empty. And I think we've done a pretty good job of doing that. But it's also a nice little option to have, because if you were going to miss 5 or 6 games, you might think, oh, it's not worth having a season ticket. But the biggest benefit for having a season ticket right now is getting your seat, not having to worry about going online at 9 a.m. and not getting a ticket. And I think that is the biggest benefit that we want to kind of focus on. But also, you save on your facilities fees, you save on your booking fees. We're introducing a facilities fee, so we're keeping the booking fee at £1.50, but we are going to introduce a facilities fee, and a facilities fee is basically for the upkeep of the arena. I don't know if everyone knows, but we actually do run the arena as well, and it's a building that's 10 years old now. Seats constantly need fixed, need replaced. There's constantly issues with the ice plant. These are not cheap repairs that have to be made. So the upkeep of the building, it's something that probably should have been in place since the day the doors opened, but it's something that we have to put in place. Again, season ticket holders do not pay a booking fee or a facilities charge. So that, again, that's another benefit. So there's the 4 free games. They're saving on facilities fees. They're saving on booking fees. There's the webcast. There's the buybacks. And yeah, that's kind of the explanation of the season tickets.
The age-old question is, why can't you just put more seats in? Why can't we have an increased capacity and you can sell more tickets? And what are you doing about that?
Believe me, I think this is probably one of the things we concentrate on the most. Funny enough, this past week, we literally were walking around the arena going, could we jam in 2 seats there? Could we put some standing places there? Everyone's got their own ideas. Could we put a row of standing around the whole building? Well, I don't think we could. I don't think the walkways are wide enough. Could we take out all the seats in block 13 and make that standing room properly with no seats, right? That might add 40 or 50 seats. We've looked at all these options. We think we have an idea where we could right away probably add about 60 to 70 seats. But the big one is we've actually, we've engaged with an architecture firm to look at actually adding a level on the far side. So I say far side kind of from where I stand. So behind the benches, on that side, looking at a way, could we add a mezzanine level that would add potentially 200 or 300 seats? So, and it's something not for 5 years down the line. It's something we're looking at doing potentially for next year. They're just, we're paying for the survey now and seeing if the building can hold that weight and if we actually can build it properly. But we're getting the architects that originally designed the building to look at that, and that's in the process right now.
With an increase, as I'm sure you understand, people will not necessarily enjoy the fact that they're going to have to spend more money to come to games. And what would you say to a person who was saying that they felt a little bit ripped off by these increases?
I think anytime you increase prices about anything, people are going to complain, right? And that's totally natural. If you think of people talking about prices of groceries and prices of a pint of milk and prices of a loaf of bread, everyone talks about the increases and how the cost of living is going up and up. And unfortunately, that's reality, right? What we're paying players compared to what we were paying players 5 or 6 years ago has gone way, way, way up. But what you're getting there is you're getting better quality players, you're getting better quality product on the ice. I think the Elite League as a whole has increased its level of play across the board. It's a phenomenal level of hockey now compared to 10 years ago. So I think the product is at an all-time high, but with that comes a cost, right? And it sounds like we're building this up to be this insane increase that's going to blow people out of mind. But like when you break it down, and you got to think a season ticket's 32 games, and I've got my little spreadsheet that I'm staring at right now. But so I'll give you an example. For a gold season ticket, it's the increase per game is £3.56. So
that's per game.
Per game. So 32 games, so it's £114 for a gold season ticket to go. It's going up by £114. So last year, or the current season we're in, 2025-26, a gold season ticket was £670. It's going to £784. So that's £114 more. But when you break that down, but per game, that's £3.56 a game. So that's the kind of increases we're talking about. A silver ticket. Where's a silver? A silver adult ticket is going from $608 to $728. And a bronze ticket's going from $576 to $672. So an increase of £96. So £3 a game. So it's right in that region, £3.56, £3.75 for silver, £3 for bronze. But basically it's based around your match night ticket prices. So the match night ticket prices for gold tickets are going up or for adult tickets are going up by £4. And then for seniors and disabled and child tickets, they're going up by £3. So that's basically it. That's what it boils down to.
Will people still be able to pay in the same ways as they have been before? There's been the direct debit system, obviously paying up front. Are there going to be any changes to that?
No, the only that you can still pay on a 12-month direct debit. You can still pay in full if you want up front. We're pretty accommodating how we do that. So all the payment, the ways you can pay still remain the same. The only thing that we've added in is we're hoping more and more people go to the digital season ticket because it's more the hassle itself of getting the physical tickets printed. I think people do it now for like a souvenir, but what we find is coming through the doors, 90 to 95% of people are using their digital season tickets, but they still want the physical season ticket. So we're going to add a charge if you want a season ticket. I think last year it was £5. It'll be £10 this year if you want a physical ticket. So someone will likely write in and complain about that. But it is what it is. And so I think, it's not that I'm justifying trying to justify the price increase. It's just rather than have all these rumors and people talking about us, what are we doing? How can we do this? And I'll give you, I'm sure someone will ask, how can an arena like Sheffield or Belfast have a cheaper season ticket than us, right? Well, their match night price is not cheaper than us, but their season ticket can be, because when they have that capacity, you want more season tickets, so they can have a lower price season ticket because they've got more seats, right? And I'm not saying like Sheffield's not getting 6,000 season ticket holders, but what I'm saying is they have the capacity to have that and to have more season ticket holders, and so they can lower the price. But if you think of this, so like I used to run the Giants in a much bigger arena, and you'd wait for those holiday games, you'd wait for those Christmas games, and you'd wait for those, half-term midweek games or whatever, and you'd be like, Christmas was like, here we go, 2 big crowds, that's those. If you can get to Christmas, you can kind of get through the season. And for us, there's no increase at Christmas. Like I look at Coventry's crowd at Christmas. Their best crowd of the season was when we were playing them in Christmas. And for us, people are like, oh, it must be great. It's going to get Christmas crowds. I'm like, Christmas crowds is the same as October. It's the same as March. It's for us, we can't increase it. I would love if all of a sudden at Christmas we could somehow get 1,000 more people in the building, but we can't, right? So for us, if the honest answer is look, we want all our season ticket holders to renew. We're going out with renewals first, so it's not a first come first serve. So if you didn't get a season ticket this year, you have to wait because we're going to start with renewals, because it's only fair that we go back to the people that are current season ticket holders. But if people can't, they decide for whatever reason that those 5 or 10% that I talked about with the drop off, after that happens, then we'll put it out to the people that want the new season ticket holders. But if every single person renews, there won't be any room for new season ticket holders. That's the honest truth. And until we build those seats, like if we can get those 300-400 seats added by the time next season rolls around, and we sure hope we can, then there's 300 or 400 more season ticket seats, right? It won't be there for match night tickets. That's where we will add that many season ticket holders if we could.
How are you going to go about, when you hopefully are able to open up to more season ticket holders, how are you going to go about opening that process? And will it be a lane, or will it be something that you open up to kind of everyone who would like one?
That's a question I don't know yet, Dan. Honestly, we haven't probably thought about that just yet. There's such a demand right now for tickets and season ticket holders. we get asked all the time. We have people writing in saying, they used to be season ticket holders and their circumstances changed, or they had kids and they want to come back, and now we're holding it against them that they left for a couple. We're not holding them against it. It's just like you have to think of the majority, and we have to look after our season ticket holders first, right? That is the lifeblood of this club. So if everyone renews, we will not have that much. But let's say there's, I don't know, 300 or 200 people that don't renew, and that's 200. We'll find out a way to do this. And I think like we do have a waiting list right now, but it might just be like, okay, at 9 a.m. get your applications in, and if there's 500 applications, I don't know what we'll do. Like maybe we'll do a lottery, maybe we'll figure it out. I'm not sure, but it's something that we have to talk about internally. I think the demand for season ticket holders is not the same as the demand for tickets on a weekly basis, if you understand what I mean. Like, because, I found since COVID that the demand for live events, not just the Cardiff Devils, I mean, if you look at every team across the league over the last 4 or 5 years, their ticket demand has gone through the roof. Every team, right? Like, and so the teams that have benefited the most from this are the teams with the biggest capacity, right? Like Sheffield Steelers I think they're a top 10 in Europe, like top 10 in Europe, not top 10, like not the top team in the elite league. They would be like top 5 in the KHL right now if with their capacity. They're averaging, I don't know, 7,500 people. Belfast are averaging almost 7. Nottingham are averaging just under 6, I think. Those are some insane crowd numbers. Those are like American Hockey League numbers, and our fans want us to compete against the big boys, and we kind of get grouped in. Like whenever everyone talks about the big 4, right? It's Belfast, Sheffield, Nottingham, and Cardiff. Well, there's one difference in there. Like we don't have a big arena. I love being a big club, but I would love a bigger arena. And when I first came over here, when we first came to Cardiff, the benefit was like, okay, we don't have the same capacity, but man, we don't have the same costs, because I'm not going to get into what rent is in those places. Like you got to remember, like the rent for Sheffield, people would be shocked at what Belfast, Sheffield, Nottingham pay for rent. It's like at the time when I moved across, I was like, oh my God, it's so much easier to be in a smaller venue and not have that huge rent bill every week. But that was when you're getting crowds of 3,500, 4,000 people. When you're getting 7,000 people, you don't care how much the rent is, right? And that's the difference. On a nightly basis, you're talking, Sheffield on a Christmas game or just this Saturday, Sheffield might sell 6,000 more tickets than us. The rent's not that high. It's a big difference in income, and I'm all for teams making lots of money, and every team wants other teams to be successful, but you can look at across the board. Like look at Dundee's crowds at Christmas. Look at Fife's crowds right now. Look at Coventry's crowds at Christmas. All the teams, no matter how big your venue is, I think every venue they wish they had more seats, and that's probably what limits this league. Like if you had 10 arenas with 5,000 plus capacities, this league would be on even a better scale than it is right now. But right now, like for us, we're just thinking if we had, like, it would be a game. If we could add 300 seats or 400 seats, it would be a game changer for us. Not just for the atmosphere, not just for the experience, not for allowing more fans in, but for financially for us. Like it would be great for us. And it's not like we're taking money out of it. It's that money's going into the team. So that's kind of where we're at. What it boils down to, we'll put a graphic up in this video to kind of explain the prices and make sure people understand, like what we're talking about. But you are talking about like right around £3.50 to £3.75 a game, which when you add it up sounds like a lot, £114. But I think we put on a great night's entertainment. We benchmarked, like I said, against other leagues. We also benchmarked against other sports in Cardiff, and also other events in Cardiff, like other things that people do with their entertainment pounds, like things like bowling and movies and things like that. Everything that costs money for families to go to. And we are still a very reasonable price night out for a family. And part of the commitment that we as an ownership group have is that we never want to be, greedy and price ourselves out of the market. If an economist came along and said, you've got insane demand, you should increase your prices by this, this, and this, and yeah, you probably could do that, but like that's not what we want to do, right? Because it's not fair to the fans. We want to be at a price point where people can still enjoy it. But we always talk about this thing in the office about it's kind of a politically incorrect term, but we say we never want to get fat and happy. And what we mean by that is we never want to just be satisfied selling out every game, right? So that's why we're looking at capacity. That's why we're looking how can we make it a better match night experience, because we want to always be entertaining. We want to be competitive every year. We can't promise championships every year, but we can promise that we're going to spend the money to be a competitive team every year. But that money has to come from somewhere, right? And it comes down to ticket prices and sponsorship and merchandise, and that's kind of what we do, right? That's our job, to sell more tickets and sell more merchandise and sell more sponsorship.